Hi, this is Linda Russis with the Focus on Nova team with Century 21, here with your top 3 takeaway. And today we are talking about negotiation in a contract. So on the buyer's side, you found the home that is your dream home and you are writing your offer. But there's more to negotiation than just the sales price, though that is a big component. So first thing I want to talk about is you have the option to negotiate when it comes to the different contingencies in a contract. So those contingencies are home inspection, appraisal, and financing. And then there is also a contingency on HOA or condo docs, though that section is not negotiable. Everybody does have to review those documents. But when it comes to the home inspection, you have a couple options. So you can move forward with what most buyers do, which is a traditional home inspection with negotiation. So that allows for you to have a home inspector come in, go through the home, write up a report on what some of the issues are with the home, and you can then negotiate again with the seller to have different items fixed or different items waived, or maybe some kind of cashback offer for you yourself to get those items fixed. With home inspection, you can also do a home inspection to void only, and that is where the home inspector comes in, they go through the house, you get the report, and you are saying with a home inspection to void only that you're not going to come back and ask the seller to do anything. However, you do want the option, if there are some major issues with the home, for you to be able to get out of the contract should there be any major issues that you're not okay getting fixed on your own. You can also completely void a home inspection, not do a home inspection at all. So you can waive your right to do that. As a buyer, I would never suggest doing that. However, sometimes in the different markets, they, if it's your dream home, maybe it's a newer home built only maybe a year or two ago, and you feel comfortable doing that, that is always your choice. But that is another option as well. Another contingency is appraisal and financing. So that is where you have an appraiser come out as a third party who comes out to put a value on the home. And there is negotiation in that if the appraisal comes in lower than what the sales price is, you can always go back to the seller and negotiate that. But you do have the option to waive appraisal. Now, you do need to speak with your lender to make sure that they're going to allow for an appraisal to be waived. And then also be aware from your lender what that means if you have waived the appraisal, but they are still going to send an appraiser out. Most likely, if the appraisal comes in low, then you're kind of on the line for paying that difference. However, that's a conversation you want to have with your realtor and then also with your lender. Another negotiation point that you have is your settlement time frame. And in another video, we're going to get more into the details of that. But you can decide, do you want to do a quick close? Do you want to do a longer close? Maybe the seller needs to find a new home. Are you going to allow for them to maybe rent back the home for free? To help them out. So that's a really good negotiation tactic that you can also use. And then lastly, obviously, there is the negotiation on the sales price. So you can either go in high, you can go in low. That's a conversation you need to have with your realtor. But you also, when it comes to the sales price, you do have the option to ask for seller assistance when it comes to closing costs. So you may go in at the asking price or higher, but then ask for a certain percentage back for closing costs. So those are the 3 areas that you have a lot of negotiation in a contract. It's not always about sales price that's going to make the best offer. So make sure you speak with your realtor and be really educated on what you're comfortable doing, what your options are, to make sure that you put forth the best offer possible on your dream home. I'm Linda Russis with Focus on Nova for Century 21 Redwood Realty. If you have any questions when it comes to real estate, by all means, please get in touch.